Hello again. At some point, I want to talk to you about my basic philosophy of life, my worldview that impacts everything I do. But I think today I just want to talk about some practical matters. One of the first things that you'll need to decide of many decisions you will have to make is how many death certificates to get. And I would advise you not to be skimpy about this because you may need more than you realize. For example, some life insurance companies will require an original certificate. Others will be okay with just getting a copy of an original. So you may need more than you think. Also, if your husband had an IRA or an annuity, you may need an original death certificate in order to collect that money to get a payout or to merge it with your own IRA or annuity. If there's more than one funeral director involved, typically the one who accepts the body and takes care of the original arrangements or cremation or whatever, they're the ones that get the death certificates for you. But if there's a second funeral home involved, as in my case, the burial was in New York, although his death was in Florida. So there was a funeral home involved in Florida and then another in New York, and I needed a death certificate for the one in New York. Also, you may need a cremation certificate for the cemetery where the ashes are buried, if that's the plan. A second issue is if there's a cremation, the shipping of the ashes. You, of course, can accept the ashes and scatter them or whatever the plan is. But if you're going to another state with them, you can transport them in your car, or you can hand carry them in your carry-on onto a plane. However, you can also have them shipped. The only entity which is authorized to ship ashes is the U.S. Postal Service. Can't do it by UPS or FedEx, just the post office. And they have a special packaging and a special way of handling cremains. Another practical issue is what to do about credit cards. I was advised not to inform credit card companies right away because the first thing they will do is to significantly slash your line of credit. So I didn't let anybody know right away, except I sort of did accidentally. My husband and I had American Airlines Advantage cards. And one of the perks of that is that you get free baggage when you fly. So I bought my ticket from Florida to New York on the American Airlines Advantage card. And when I went to the airport, I used the card expecting to get free baggage. And I got charged. So I went to the ticket agent and I said, I shouldn't have been charged for this. And she said, well, only the primary card holder gets free baggage. So you would have to be traveling with your husband if he's the primary. I said, oh, well, that's going to be a little tough since he died a month ago. Oh, she said, I'm so sorry, but if you just call the 800 number, they will make you the primary card holder and they'll refund you this money that you just paid as the baggage fee. Well, it was plenty of time before my flight, so I sat right there in the airport and called the 800 number. And the gentleman I spoke with said, I must talk to my supervisor. And he came back and he said, no, we can't do that. You will have to reapply for the card in your own name so that you're the primary. Well, clearly that wasn't going to give me my baggage fee back. And I said, no, I don't have to reapply. I can just cut up the card and never use it again. So I actually did have a MasterCard that I was the primary on. And then a couple weeks later, I was ordering something online and I got offered a Visa card. in my own name. So I took advantage of that. So now I have both the MasterCard and the Visa in my own name. And I would advise you, if your husband hasn't passed away yet, to do something to get yourself as the primary on a credit card. So those are some practical matters, some things you have to decide. And it's just really kind of a pain because here you are, you're grieving, you're overwhelmed, and then there's all these practical decisions that have to be made. So I would suggest to you, just do the next thing. Try not to be overwhelmed by all of it. Try to set your priorities and figure out, what do I have to do next? And just focus on one thing at a time. I'll talk to you again soon.